I appreciate everybody getting on today. Today, I want to talk about the need for long-term care planning. And this is an area, I think it's an area of growing concern with our clients. And it's also an area as advisors, we really have more tools to help our clients as well. As you start thinking about long-term care, I think for a lot of our clients, we need to define what long-term care planning really is for. And if you think about it, it's protecting one of your most important assets, and that's your family. So if you think about this, if mom or dad needs, has dementia, needs long-term care help, how are we going to do that? How are we going to help them and also protect the health of the well spouse so that we're using our assets efficiently, but more importantly, we're there to help our loved ones when they really need the help. If you look at the care, there's two types of impairments that we're really going to look at here. The first one is a chronic health condition. This is a physical condition that doesn't allow you to do the basic daily routines. You need help with cooking, cleaning, paying bills, whatever it is, you need help, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. The other one is if you have a cognitive impairment. And we see this a lot with the dementia and Alzheimer's types of diseases. These are things where you intellectually can't manage your affairs. You need help day to day. And really, if you think about it, to have a safe environment. So with a chronic health condition where we've got people in place to help you physically, with a cognitive, it's providing a safe environment and a place that people can take care of the person that needs the help. When we get into long-term care, we're looking at, can you do the normal activities of daily living? And there's six of them. If being able to transfer, can you get in and out of bed, in and out of chairs? Do you need help in a wheelchair? Using the bathroom and having those needs, being able to bathe and dress yourself, and then of course eating. Those six activities of daily living. If you can't do two of those six, that's when, most companies deem that you need help with the long-term care. The other one is, of course, the cognitive impairment, that you don't have the mental ability anymore to take care of yourself safely. And we all hear stories of whether it's our own family or friends or other people that have had to deal with these issues. Now, as you think about this, why is it such a big issue coming up now? And a lot of this is because we have an aging US population. Think about this, 10,000 people are turning 65 daily. 10,000 throughout the US are turning 65. So if you think about that, if you're now 65, you've got a average lifespan of 85.6 years if you're male or female, and 83 years if you're male. So we have a longer time horizon than we've ever seen before because people are living longer. And as they live longer, a lot of times we need that extra help. Married people live 2 years longer than single people. There again, it's just something that we have to be aware of. And I like, you start looking at this by 2050, which isn't that far away anymore. 95 million people will be over the age of 65. So this is a problem that is growing now and is only going to grow faster. And over 85 is the fastest growing population segment in the US. So you start thinking about that. Number one, we've got a large population, a growing population that needs long-term care. It also is an area that if you start thinking about it, we may have a scarcity of resources. So if we have less resources for these people, that means that the cost is going to, inflate even faster than normal inflation is right now. So when you look at long-term care, part of this is when somebody needs long-term care, they're going to get the help. Now the question is, how do we pay for it? How do we pay for it effectively so that, as part of your retirement planning, it fits into your cash flow? Well, a lot of people will look at this and say, okay, I'm going to self-pay. And if I look at self-pay, the problem that you create there is a potential cash flow issue. So a lot of our clients or a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of their money is tied up in qualified plans. They funded their 401k, their IRAs. Now they want to use that money, and to use it, they have to pay the tax. Well, if part of your retirement is now going to be used for long-term care, you have to gross up the amount that you need for long-term care to cover those taxes. So if you need 100,000 for care, maybe in a state like California, you're going to have to take out 200,000 of your retirement money, pay the tax to have that 100,000 left to pay for care. There again, it can create a cash flow problem and creating a tax problem. Again, if you have more income, your Social Security is getting taxed, your Medicare payments can increase. It can be a major issue for those in retirement. The other part of this is, remember, if we're dealing with spouses and we take all of that money to take care of the first spouse, well, what does the second spouse have to use for their retirement and potentially their long-term care? So it creates some issues that we have to be aware of. If you don't have money, if you don't have the assets, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, those are going to be available. I've told clients this throughout my career. If you're broke or they will make you broke, then Medicaid and Medi-Cal will start paying. So they will make you spend down your assets. So if, and I'll talk to people, well, if I need that, I can go on Medicaid. Well, if you have assets, spend that first. That's not going to your family. It's going to go to your care first, then Medicaid will start paying. So I don't look at that as a plan. I look at it as a lack of a plan, and now you're going to get those things covered. Finally, it's insurance. There are long-term care insurance policies that are a way to leverage your money. A lot of these are, and traditionally used to be kind of a use it or lose it policy. So if you put in 200,000 into that policy and died from a heart attack, your family doesn't get any of that money back. The new policies do. The new policies have an annuity or life insurance component so that if you don't use the benefit or use all of the benefit, that's going to flow back to your family and become an asset for them that passed on. So it's one, you're going to have access to that. So when I look at this, if you think about these new policies, and they're called asset-based long-term care, you're going to take your money and you're going to deposit that with an insurance company. There again, can be life insurance based, it can be annuity based, depending on the situation and what's best for you and your client. Once we put that in, that premium now can be turned into something that might be 3, 4, 5 times the benefit that you would have had if you were paying for it out of your own pocket. The nice thing is, and focus on that word, tax-free. So once we get into these policies, any benefits that pay for long-term care are going to be done tax-free. So we can grow it tax-free, we can use it tax-free. Tax-free is a great leverage tool. And there again, it's there when you need it. Over time, if we want, we can grow that long-term care benefit. So maybe you start at something that pays, $5,000 a month now, but over the next 5, 6 years grows to maybe $10,000 a month. Whatever you need to do so you feel that you're covered. Now, if you want to cancel and walk away, most of these policies will have that feature that has an exit. There again, we don't go into this thinking, well, in 10 years from now, I might need the money and walk away. I look at it, your financial picture's changed. You need access to money now. Here's an exit. Here's an opportunity to use that money because that becomes the most important thing now. Finally, if you don't ever use that benefit during your life, your family's going to get a tax-free benefit. They're going to receive that money so they can use it. Because you didn't use it, you can pass it on to your heirs just like you can any other life insurance policy or annuity. So the big thing to remember here is know your options. Know that there are options is probably what some people need to know. The need is there. The need is growing. Now there's good options for those that are aware of the problems and want to do the planning. So I appreciate everybody getting on. If you have questions about this, feel free to reach out and we can talk about it in more detail. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you next time.